Hello y'all, hope you're all doing well. This is RJ, live from Strasburg, Virginia. Here in the Strasburg County Museum, Strasburg Museum. Here in the Shenandoah Valley. Some information about this place. I encourage you to stop by if you're ever around here. This is among my favorite museums. So I thought I'd do a quick little walk around as I'm here. Strasburg is a town of about 7,000 folks right here in the Shenandoah Valley. The county seat is nearby Woodstock. That's where I'm on my way to right now. I really like how they did this museum right here. I would say this is a unreconstructed, more of an accurate, historically accurate, respectful museum for those who lived here. And I love how they did this. They have a section right here that is maintained by the Sons of Confederate Veterans, and they have a section over here maintained by the United Daughters Confederacy, and they have other sections here maintained by others. It's a community event. And really like this. So I'm going to walk around here and share some of this with you right now. And not just down here, but also up here as well. So you see right here, a little section here for the Riverview section, the Confederate veterans, and the names of those from this area who served in America's largest, bloodiest war. Have different relics and different artifacts right here. I see a saber, a scabbard right here. See a saddlebag, some other artifacts and relics. See a bayonet right here. You might have this U.S. Postal Stamp collection right here. I do. Features Stonewall Jackson and Robert E. Lee. And also Jefferson Davis and others there. Neat little section right here for nice little old paintings and pictures here. This is maintained actually by the Sons of Confederate Veterans, Strasburg Guards, 1587. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful display right here. I love this. Beautiful painting right here of that legendary American General Thomas Stonewall Jackson, who is a hero of this area. He helped protect and defend this whole Shenandoah Valley from a deadly destructive invasion. Nice little display right here. I really like this display right here. I might return to this a little bit later. We see a portrait of General Robert E. Lee. That's when he was after the war. When he lived in Lexington, Virginia, he would go stop by the gravesite of Stonewall Jackson. That's Robert E. Lee, beside the gravesite of Stonewall Jackson. It's a beautiful painting right there. So I really love this museum, how they have this organized. Now making a transition over here. I really like how the United Daughters Confederacy, I'm sure, helped maintain this right here, and see some really nice displays right here of General Robert E. Lee, and I think that might be Turner Ashby. There used to be a library named after Stonewall Jackson. You might be able to see that right here. It's a Stonewall Jackson Memorial Library. And down here, lots of different artifacts and displays right here. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. I'm going to walk upstairs real soon. Now there is a really cool... Oh, this is closed right now. Usually it's open. Let's see. Maybe I'll close it back up. But... Usually This right here is open. There's a really nice train display right in here. A model train display, I think HO level size. And they did run today, but it is closed right now, unfortunately. But this is an old historic building that's around here. What I'll do is I'll close this back up when I come back here a little bit later. All right, so just walking through here real briefly. What I think I'll do is walk upstairs briefly. There's a nice display, nice view from upstairs.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I say I love the display. I love it coming through here in this museum.
Oh, good.
So really nice folks who live here, but here's a nice view from this perspective. I love how they display the historically accurate flags right here. See the British flag and of course the Confederate battle flag, Betsy Ross flag there in the background, Virginia flag, and of course the federal flag.
Williamsburg doctor down there, and I was there 4 hours. Where? Williamsburg, walk-in place.
So I'm just going to walk through here really quickly. But definitely love the museum and stopping through here. I could spend a lot more time here. I'm actually here to go to the annual Rock Fest that is happening nearby in Woodstock. That is, the concert started already, so I'm running a little bit behind today. But my goal is to go over there and enjoy the day over there in the county fairgrounds where they're holding the Southern Rock Festival. So you got a section right here for the Rueton Club. Here's another image that you'll likely recognize. Always love that imagery. Of course, that most famous Americans, General Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson. In fact, another one right here. Of course, I'm always going to stop and pay respects whenever I see a photo of Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson or a painting. If you're just joining me, I'm right here in this museum. This is the Strasburg Museum here in the Shenandoah Valley. Here is some information about it. It's only $5 to come through here. I love to stop by and see museums and encourage you to stop by as well if you're ever in the Shenandoah Valley. Kind of between just south of Winchester, but north of Woodstock, north of Newmarket, north of Harrisonburg. This is definitely a place you want to stop by and see if you have a chance. Different relics and artifacts, important from this little town in the Shenandoah Valley. I could spend a lot more time just walking through here. Of course, Strasburg, Virginia, celebrating 250 years. See a loom right here. Strasburg, Virginia, celebrating 250 years. See the spinning wheel right here. Once again, let's take a view from this side of the entire museum. I just walked down this row over here. I have much respect for all the museums that have the historically accurate flags and historically accurate representations of the past. I hate it when they try to whitewash and purge and censor and try to hide the most important moments that happened. It's a neat little display right here of a kitchen of a time frame of over 100 years ago. In fact, you can see a calendar right here. It dates to 1899. It's amazing how far we've come in just that short time. In another time period right here, it doesn't say in particular, but really neat display of what would have been a living room or parlor in a home. See the little niche stitch display up here. That is God bless our home. Looks like an organ right there, and a gramophone. Another section of a time period. It's a little unclear about what time frame this would have been, but I would say mid 19th century, mid 1800s. About that time of 1800, about the time of the war between the states. But just really cool displays all through here. So I just wanted to share this with you while I was here. Section right here, other displays. Different types of bob wire, it looks like. Different woodworking and different kind of field instrumentation and machines through here. I'm sure many of you can comment on this much better than I can. But the main reason for me to share this with you is to encourage you to come out here, come to these cool little museums like this. In this case, here in Strasburg, Virginia, in the Shenandoah Valley. Once again, here's the information. Here's the back. Here's the back side. And here's where it's at, Strasburg Museum. But isn't this a cool display? What I think I'll do is I'll finish up over here. I'll do a quick walk around down here and then finish up at the Sons of Confederate Veterans and the United Daughters of Confederacy booths that are right over here, because many of you may have not seen those yet. Some books here on the Shenandoah Valley. Came through here, and a really nice ladies who work here. Met them before. And what I'll do is I'll probably finish up at this booth down here after I walk around down here, and then share with you what this looks like from the outside for the front. You can see two flags right here, a Virginia flag and also the Strasburg, Virginia flag. As it says, they're founded back in 1761. Just walking down the walkway here. Now there is a little section over here as well. I'm not going to spend much time in here, just a little quick walkthrough. This is a pottery section. Partly dealing with some of the industry that was from in this area. Some articles here about the pottery barn. It's the pottery room. Of course, that's a very quick, tip of the iceberg, just kind of perusing this very quickly. Take a look at this. It's a very large bellow right here to fire this. I'm turning back around. Of course, this whole section right here, but very impressive. What an incredible museum for only $5 to come through here in Strasburg. But you can see a lot of supplies here from different artifacts and relics from the different stores that were here in town. Not going to spend much time on this, but you can see some displays there. Of course, this is a place that this is also a genealogical library. Take a look at some of you can see some of the books here dealing with Strasburg, including geography and genealogy, a lot of family history, information, stories, the community. What a great place to stop by and read about this community and this place right here. And I'll come through here soon, but of course, here's some photos of Strasburg itself and what this area looked like. And here's a little section on Strasburg. You can see only $5 to come in here. And here we are. Here's the pamphlet I was just sharing with you right here. And there is a historical Strasburg walking trail you can read about. But you can see the different landmarks that are here. Little video right here. You can watch a little video on this community, this town here, Strasburg, here in the Shenandoah Valley. But isn't this cool how they have this arranged right here? Right here, for example, they have the farm kitchen. A little display right here. Here's the perspective from this area. And all these displays here. I'm not going to have a chance to look at many of these, but you can see everything from, got a quilt section over here to other items that were unique to this particular community. Right here, a section for Strasburg railroads. And in fact, this is right along the old railroad train trestle and railway. You can see some of the bulletin for the schedule for the train. Other neat displays right here. Section right here for the military, mainly World War I believe. It's the World War I type section. And some old posters that you typically only see in museums and antique stores and maybe some flea markets here and there. I do remember seeing some things like this in my grandparents' old home. It's Americana, part of Americana. Now I'm going to share this with you one more time. You might have missed it, and that is every booth here is it's largely supported, maintained by different organizations in this particular case. I'm sure the Sons of Confederate Veterans come through here and help maintain this booth. It includes those who are buried in different cemeteries in this area. There is a Confederate memorial monument only about a mile up the road or so. First saw that a good half dozen years ago and stopped by once in a while to pay respects. It's on the, as I remember, the Presbyterian grounds. One time I was out there on a Sunday and I was with my drone, and the church was just getting out, and they were fascinated they were very curious what I was doing there, and they were very appreciative that I was paying respects to the Confederate memorial that was there in the graveyard there beside the church building, very historic church building. But you might recognize a family name here. Some names of those who answered the call and did their duty to serve and protect and defend their homes and families and the homeland in the largest war in the Confederacy. Once again, just sharing this with you. I thought this was a cool display that was right here. And a section right here, primarily dedicated to the United Artists Confederacy. We appreciate all their efforts as well, and some of the displays that they have here. Really, for example, got a cool book. Josh Stover. I have a friend named Josh Stover. I think he would appreciate that. But really, isn't this cool how you can go here and read about, see some of the history of this area? If I had more time, I would go through this a little slower but just lots of, just like a scrapbook of this county, in this town. This right here presented by the United Artists Confederacy. So for example, right here, isn't that cool? Let's read more about that and some other artifacts here. All right, so I'm gonna start working my way out to the front. Once again, as you saw only part of this, I'll do one last look at this museum before I get moving on here. Then I'm gonna continue on to Woodstock after that, so I can get out to the Southern Rock Festival. Once again, another last look at this really cool museum here in Strasburg, Virginia. Encourage you to stop by and see this if you're ever around. Now I'm gonna go out to the front door.
Okay, all done?
Almost. I'm gonna go out to the front and I'll be back in real soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
I love this museum. Wonderful. Ladies, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go outside for just a moment.
Okay.
It's a really cool museum right here. So lots of little artifacts.
Don't get me in it. Don't get me in it.
All right.
Oh, no, don't take me either.
Oh, you look wonderful though. You should. You look good. We're very, very appreciative of all your efforts here. Thank you.
Quite welcome.
I'll be right back. All right, so here's the outside of the museum, and this was, as you can see, Strasburg Stone and Earthenware Manufacturing Company. And this was placed on the National Register, as you can see right here. And so this place right here, admission $5. Here's some information about this place. Strasburg Museum, open May through October. Admission, adults $5, cash only. So as you can see, it's only open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's open today here, of course. And here's the outside. It speaks about the great train raid that took place here in 1861. But here is the museum. And downtown Strasburg, right down this way. See the Shenandoah Valley off in the distance. And there's the other direction. But I'm going to go right this way so you can get a little better view of this direction. There's downtown Strasburg. You see the Shenandoah Mountains off in the background. And once again, the Strasburg Museum, as you see right here. Strasburg Museum, open May through October. I'm going to walk back in for just a moment, go back in there and finish this up.
Yeah, the water tower.
All right, I'll be right back. I'm just going back in here.
Thank you.
All right, so one last look. Once again here in Strasburg, Virginia, back inside. The one thing I really regret that's not open right now is the train museum, where they have a like a old-time display, a backdrop of a HO-sized train that runs the length of an entire train unit. Unfortunately, it's closed. He did run things today, but it was a really neat display inside. So once again, from Strasburg, leaving us with you. I encourage you to stop by here if you're ever around in this really cool museum. Once again, I'll share this with you one last time. The Strasburg Museum, right here at this address. So take care, y'all. Glad to be able to share this with you. Today, I'll continue on my travels on to Woodstock. Share more live videos a bit later. Hope you're enjoying the day.